Roman Reigns to feud with former U.S. champion after Solo Sequa? Exploring potential hint. In a few weeks, Roman Reigns will be involved in arguably his biggest battle yet since losing the undisputed WWE Championship to Cody Rhodes. With Raw making the move to Netflix, the original Tribal Chief is all set to challenge Solo Sikoa in tribal combat. It's a match that will determine the future of the Bloodline, as the Ula Fala will be on the line. After Reigns is done with the street champion of the island, what next? He might choose to target a former United States champion for a particular reason. The name in question here is LA Knight. Both men have had their fair share of battles in the past, as Knight tried his level best to dethrone the OTC as the undisputed WWE Champion. This time around, it could be Roman Reigns who goes after the megastar. Although Reigns is feuding with Solo Sikoa right now, he's all about family. The honor he had and the pride he felt as the Tribal Chief were immense, especially when he had the Ula Fala around his neck. So, hearing LA Knight mock the sacred symbol of leadership last week on SmackDown might not have sat well with him. The OTC might just choose to punish Knight for disrespecting the Ula Fala once he wins it back. Of course, at the end of the day, this is nothing more than speculation. There is no telling what Reigns has planned for the future. But, as of right now, the 39-year-old will be laser-focused on taking out his former enforcer. Roman Reigns will also have his eye on the potential threat that is Drew McIntyre. LA Knight's disrespect and dealing with Solo Sikoa may prove to be the least of Roman Reigns' problems. Yes, he is after the Ula Fala and may want to teach the megastar a lesson, but he must be wary of a greater threat, Drew McIntyre. The Scottish Warrior has been on a warpath of late, and his enemies are the OG Bloodline and Solo Sikoa. He already dealt with Sami Zayn at Saturday night's main event, and as he said backstage, 1 down, 4 to go. Going by that, his next targets are Sikoa, the Usos, and of course the OTC. It's not clear when McIntyre will lock in on Reigns, but the latter best be ready. If what happened to Zayn this past Saturday was any indicator, then there is no way this will end well for anybody. Triple H expected grand things for Roman Reigns from the very beginning. Roman Reigns has gone on to become a pillar performer in the history of WWE. Triple H saw this in Roman from the first day he met him. In the years since then, he has gone from an on-screen rival of Roman, being the person Roman defeated to score his first victory in the main event of WrestleMania, to being the head of creative for WWE with Roman as the top performer. Appearing on the Roommate Show with Brunson and Josh Hart, Triple H reflected on his first meeting with the OTC and the prophetic statement he made to Dusty Rhodes about Roman Reigns' future in WWE. The first time I ever met Roman Reigns, I had just taken over and started what would become our developmental system, and he had just transitioned over from football to being in our developmental system. The first day I met him, I sat down with him for 20 minutes just to get to know him a little bit. Walked out of the interview, and at the time, Dusty Rhodes was working in developmental with me. I walked up to Dusty and said, if that kid is not the biggest star we ever have in 10 years, I don't know what we're doing. Holy shit. He has everything. When he walked in the room, you couldn't help but look at him and go, who is that? He has an innate X-Factor charisma. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's the guy you don't see it in them. He's good. He's athletic. He's this and that. But it's really the character stuff. Sometimes it clicks, and sometimes it doesn't. Roman Reigns recently commented on the difficulties of replicating success and going beyond the peaks you've already reached in your career after achieving so much in the industry. Read his comments here. Roman Reigns will be returning to action on Monday Night Raw during the January 6th debut on Netflix. He will face Solo Sikoa in Tribal Combat. Learn more here. WrestleMania season is fast approaching, but when it comes to many of the biggest matches and names on the card, there are various options that WWE could go down, making the card of WrestleMania 41 quite unpredictable as we look up and down every division. Roman Reigns is one of the biggest stars in WWE, and over the last several years he has dominated the main event scene. Heading into WrestleMania 41, Reigns may very well be without a world title around his waist, something he is not used to. There are multiple booking options for the biggest show of the year for Roman Reigns, and here are a few of them. When Roman Reigns returned to WWE at SummerSlam 2024 after several months away, the landscape of the Bloodline was very different, with the most striking new member being the chaotic, rampaging brute named Jacob Fatu, who has stood out in every single match he's had and looks like someone set for world title glory in the future. If WWE wants to capitalize on the potential of Fatu, then the company should switch Reigns' issues with Solo Sequa to a program with Fatu at WrestleMania 41. With how well both these men have been protected, this would feel like a blockbuster clash, and it would also be something completely brand new and fresh for Reigns, which is important too. Even though Fightful Select have reported that WWE are working under the impression that The Rock will not be competing at WrestleMania 41, it feels like the perfect time for Roman Reigns to finally have this long-awaited dream match with one of WWE's biggest stars. With The Rock still heel and Reigns now babyface, WWE can finally book a match with fans firmly behind Reigns and cheering him on as he takes on the other powerhouse in his family. Reigns and Rock can craft a magical storyline based on the Bloodline, especially with how the Bloodline saga has progressed in 2024. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes are already all-time great rivals after a pair of classic main events at WrestleMania. WWE could make history and go for 3 in a row, especially if The Rock is out of the picture. With Reigns now a babyface and Rhodes on a wave of momentum, this would be a very unpredictable match, and one that fans would likely be invested in despite it being the rematch of a rematch. At some point, WWE will pull the trigger on this surefire money match to determine the absolute winner between Reigns and Rhodes, and seeing the pair go at it for the undisputed WWE Championship once again on the grandest stage could be special. There is a lot of potential in something special between CM Punk and Roman Reigns, and WWE have already teased a program following their unholy alliance at Survivor Series as Heyman drafted and Punk to team with the OG Bloodline. If WWE wanted to take a complete 180, then a feud could very well be built between Reigns and Punk, with Heyman right at the very center. A feud with Heyman at the center would be great, and it could all lead to a major WrestleMania 41 clash. Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns have proven chemistry with various strong matches in the past, but it has been a long time since they battled with Reigns as the babyface and McIntyre as the heel. With McIntyre at the very top of his game right now, and with him proving to be able to tell an all-timer storyline with CM Punk, entering a program with Roman Reigns could be an option for WrestleMania 41. It would be a shame if McIntyre were to.